want to talk about today is the commercial real estate lending sector. So first off, I want to mention that if you're a small business administration 7A lender, if you're a CDC, if you're an environmental consultant who's supporting those two SBA lending programs, just be aware that effective April 1st, the SBA has a new SOP 5010-5 policy document. So you want to make sure your documentation is referencing the new version K, and you want to make sure that you're aware of the few changes that are in the new policy. The second thing I want to mention is that last week the Federal Reserve came forward at its March meeting to say that it was keeping interest rates at current levels. So they've essentially pushed off the front burner the prospect of further interest rate increases, at least over the near term, and this is a development that I see as a very good sign for commercial real estate. And the third thing I want to address here is a question that I've been getting from a lot of our clients, and that is, how's commercial real estate lending volume doing? So let's start with the Mortgage Bankers Association, which just came out with their end of year 2018 loan origin volume statistics. As a whole, across all types of commercial real estate lending sources, origination volumes were up by 3% year on year. But you can't look at that overall volume trend without also giving consideration to just how segmented the commercial real estate lending universe is. So banks, their volume was actually down 10% year on year, although in the fourth quarter they were up by 5%. So they started 2019 on pretty healthy footing. Alternative lenders actually increased their market share from 7% in 2017 to 11% in 2018. So they're growing much faster than banks. If you peel back the layers of the onion a little bit more in the banking sector, the community banks and regional banks are growing much faster than the bigger national banks as they look to expand their geographic footprint, as they start to get more comfortable extending loans on bigger and bigger properties. So a lot of changes as you look from one sector of the lending universe to another. So what does 2019 look like? Well, I'm expecting to see origination volume probably staying right on par with what we've seen over the past 2 years. Now, one thing that I'm very gratified to see is that banks are still exhibiting the same prudent underwriting practices that they've shown throughout this entire recovery period. And I'm also starting to see some banks pay attention a little bit more to recession preparedness strategies and putting policies and procedures in place to protect them from the next downturn. And that's actually a topic that we'll be hitting at our PRISM conference in May. But I think, all things considered, the stage is set for a pretty favorable lending environment for the rest of 2019.